What's up, party people, and welcome to another episode of Fallout 4. Today, we are jumping onto the molecular relay, which is the Institute's teleporter. We've only got one shot at this to try and get in there and find my son Shaun. We built the array last episode. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Without further ado, let's get my son back once and for all.
Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. Yeah, don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Holy shit. Well, this is a Star Trek transporter if ever I've seen one. Now to be very careful. They've got to have some kind of security system, you know. Interesting. Hang on. Good. That's that done. Now. What on earth? So you're telling me that I don't have a an objective marker in here? I'm literally just looking around for my son. Okay then. Let's see what we can get from the Institute then, guys. Very clean cut. Basically like the apocalypse hasn't touched them. As expected, to be honest.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
What?
Busted.
Okay, now this I wasn't expecting at all. This is very Star Trek, I'm just saying. If he doesn't give me my son back, I'm just gonna fuck him up, I don't care.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
You kidnapped my son?
Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those
Oh, really?
above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground.
Why?
There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
You goddamn right.
Shaun?
Huh? Yes, I'm Shaun.
Shaun. I've been looking for you for so long.
Who are you?
Shaun, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Shaun, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Shaun. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Are you being serious?
Shaun. S923, recall code Cirrus.
What the hell?
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Shaun.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me.
I thought
I
so.
am Shaun. I am
He looked like
your
me.
son.
So I knew that was coming. Oh my god, are you kidding me? So how long ago did I see Kellogg with Shaun, or was that just a prototype again?
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you, kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another
he was
source
perfect.
was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics, used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
I don't expect you to understand or agree with the decision. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss, but the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
All I want's my son back, to be honest. I don't need technological breakthroughs and things like that. I just want to get to know you.
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Are you sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in advanced systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Well, fantastic. Because now it's obvious.
This really is a matter of importance.
No, I'm not going to get my son back. So, you know, fantastic. Trying to find that serum for Dr. Virgil. Might as well try this. Whoa, that's tiny font on one of these screens.
Through.
Boom, nailed it. Wow. Hydroponics at sea. Child synth project under quarterly review. Of course, of course. Synth shutdown. So I can shut down all synths. Well, this is interesting, to say the least. Not what I was expecting, but Fallout, of course, has got to have a twist, hasn't it? So, I'll see what they're offering. And if, at some point, I have to put an end to... Oh, okay. Well, I have to put an end to this. I gladly will.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Okay.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Shaun implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
In 100 years, calm down, babe.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
That's kind of terrifying, to be honest. Really looks like the synths from Alien Isolation, actually. I feel like they can just turn at some point, that's the thing. And the Institute's gone.
What can I requisition?
I have access to a modest selection of arms, armor, and other items approved for use in field missions.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Let's see what kind of stuff he's got. Plasma rifle. I don't have one of those yet. As if I still need to actually buy things. My son owns this place, and you're telling me, what on earth? Damn. 4,000 that costs. Oh, good. Thanks. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Why can't a synth be a person too? I don't really see the difference.
I've heard stories. The surface sure sounds scary.
So the kids just grow up to be more, well, either go out on surface missions, but I'm assuming that's mainly for synths, or they just become the next batch of scientists. Surely, after a particular amount of time, everyone will become inbred? Bear in mind it was one group of people that started, and then their sons and daughters, and they'd have to interbreed, so eventually... But possibly DNA, if it's taken time, DNA might... Is that a gorilla? My main man, my homie? What's up, man?
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results.
I hear we're about to get a new food supplement.
Some nice synthetic silverbacks. Why not? But I was saying the DNA might be so little, the similar DNA, that maybe
There's still people and they're suffering. We can at least
inbred effects wouldn't occur.
After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well, I suppose you're right.
Hydroponics?
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
Hey, Doc.
Sorry, but I'm too
Welcome.
preoccupied for chit-chat.
So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
There might be. Tell you what, you get settled in and check back with me later. I'll see what I can find out.
Okay.
You're here. Glad you made it.
This episode's going to be, you know, a little bit longer, guys, because we've got to explore this, really. And I've got to find the serum for Dr. Virgil. I just, interesting that with all this here, he defected. Now, if someone can defect, you know, damn, then it clearly can't be that good. But then you can sell it with anything, I suppose. But there we go.
That's it.
Anything good? Some medkits, medical tools. Super Star Trek. Sorry, it just really is. I just expect the Star Trek door noises whenever I walk through. What's this now? Sorry? The Fev Lab. Or FEV Lab. Sorry. Don't know what FEV could stand for, if it's hydroponics, flora, environment, something, maybe. It's okay, I've got 83.
Yes.
I don't know if I can just walk in here normally, or if I'm actually not supposed to be here, but we'll see. What the fuck? Well, this is decontamination. What the hell is this place?